Welcome back, everyone, to Construction Week series Expo Talks. Today is a big day for us as we're finally live at the Expo site, and I can tell you certainly the excitement is rising. Every pavilion looks absolutely unreal and is unique in its own shape and form. Today's episode will feature the Polish Pavilion as the Commissioner General himself will give me all of the latest construction exclusives accompanied by the Science Now representative who worked on the pavilion's immersive experiences. Poland is all set to showcase a combination of design, art, and technological achievements with the team working intensively over the last year and counting down the days for the long-awaited Expo 2020 opening. On that note, sit back and enjoy the show as we take you on a ride through the Polish Pavilion right here, right now at Expo Talks. Very excited to be here today at the Polish Pavilion and have Adrian Malinowski, the Commissioner General, and Lukasz Alwast welcome me, the creative producer and director of the exhibition. Thank you for having me here at your wonderful pavilion.
Our pleasure.
Now, I would just like to ask you, what are your initial thoughts about the Expo, which is opening in just under a couple of days?
All right, so before we start off, let me just welcome you sincerely to the Pavilion of Poland on behalf of the whole team involved in creating this magnificent piece of art and architecture.
Thank you very
it's my
much.
pleasure to have you all here. I will be delighted to tell you a little more about the idea standing behind the Pavilion and the whole general concept that we've came up during the past 3 years of working on Expo. So if I may just start off, let me just tell you that our main theme is creativity inspired by nature. And everything you're going to see in the pavilion, as well as in the exhibition. I believe that Lukasz is going to tell a little more about the exhibition itself. And the whole programming that we've prepared is revolving about the nature, its connection to our nation, the traits and features of our nation. And I suppose that we're going to be traveling throughout the whole journey of how ingenious we are, how we are entrepreneurial, how creative Polish people can be. But apart from that, we would like to draw from the very best of our tradition and the traits of the nation itself. So the first thing you're going to feel once you come to the pavilion is going to be the hospitality. So once you're here, you're not going to feel as a visitor. You're going to be our guest.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here, as I said. I would like to ask, specifically about the theme of the pavilion. So if we could go into more construction details as to how the construction is reflecting that theme. And then if we can talk also about the technologies and how all of these user experiences that you created here obviously reflect the theme as well, which Malinowski spoke about earlier.
So for us, it was very important that the experience is absolutely seamless. So, expos are somewhere in between a sophisticated amusement park and a modern art gallery. So we wanted that feeling to resonate from the Polish Pavilion itself. And once, 2 years ago when we started the project, in principle, how it was settled, the agency commissioned an architectural competition, and that resulted in this magnificent, building that we are in. And then following that, there were 2 pieces of work that were commissioned to the general constructor and us, the user experience designers. And as that framework was set up, it was our task to think how every step of this building and of the pathway that the visitors will see will bring good emotions, good feelings, and at the end, a memory or a connection association that Poland is a place that you want to visit, that you have, a smile, and only good memories.
Definitely, you have to reflect that Polish culture in here, I think, and as well as just have that immersive experience so that, as you said, when people leave, they have a memory of something special of the pavilion. And I'm sure you guys did a great job in doing that. So moving on now, I want to ask you specifically which technologies did you use and how that enhances the experience here and how are they maybe different from the technologies that other pavilions use at Expo?
Of course. So we knew from the very beginning that we're not going to compete in terms of, the amount of the largest projections or the most expensive gizmos. And step by step, we were thinking how people will feel in a space like the Expo. They will be visiting maybe 8 to 10 pavilions each day, and they will be encountering a lot of multimedia content, a lot of screens, because that's what's being generally sold. And the way how we thought about the Polish exhibition is in some way in opposition to that. So we start in the first chapter, which is downstairs on the foreground of the pavilion, where we immerse with sound, with flora and fauna. So you have this feeling of tranquility, of immersion into nature, because that's how we start the narration. Then you enter, as you said, as we met, this cozy and intimate wooden space, which is the main hall. And what we wanted to do is to make the greeting in the Polish pavilion special. So we're doing that through the, human-to-human interaction, which is between the hosts of the pavilion, but then an exceptional object, which is in the very middle of the hall, and that is the Polish table art installations, which you'll have an opportunity to see in detail. And that's a completely unique piece of art. We've worked on it for a year. We've involved over 60 artists and creators to manufacture it. And that's where the first interaction with technology happens. It's very subtle. We invite people to greet each other in different languages. So we say dzień dobry in Polish, and that's what the hosts are going to say. And then we would like you to say hello
Dobar dan in Serbian.
In your own language. And the object, the installation itself enhances that experience.
Okay. Now I would like to move on to another very famous word here in the UAE, which is sustainability, obviously. And with Dubai aiming to become the city of the future with the lowest carbon footprint by 2040. So how does the Polish pavilion, in your opinion, raise the standards in terms of, sustainable construction and energy efficiency in a way?
Just take a look around. Whatever you see, it's pretty much sustainable. Can you find a better material, resource, and construction material to be used? Wood is primarily as I believe, the resource that has the lowest carbon footprint in the world. It's renewable. It can be repurposed, it can be reshaped, it can be reused in so many different ways. But I don't think that the pavilion is going to be dismantled, and it's going to be lasting here. And using wood as a primary material for construction is something that was always the general concept for us. Not only because of the beauty of itself, but also due to the sustainability of the wood and the renewable resource that Poland can be very proud of.
And I think what's worth adding is that we're also promoting Polish companies that are deriving from the sustainability sector, and that relates. We have amazing architectural studios, and generally in the space which is dedicated to entrepreneurship, which is called Spirit of Ingenuity. You can have a look on the case studies of major Polish architectural studios, but also companies that work, for example, with solar panels or scientific solutions that bring sustainability to life in the toolkits and technologies that surround us.
It's great to hear how, at the end of the day, everything interconnects with sustainability and how the Polish pavilion keeps up the UAE standards. So thank you for that. Now, moving on to another very important topic, I think, here in the UAE, it's obviously the health and safety programs and precautions which Expo in general take into consideration. So could you please just briefly touch upon that?
All right. If I may just take it from there and just clarify what happened throughout the year that was given to us when it comes to the pandemic and the decision of postponement of the Expo. So we had to reconsider every single part of the pavilion, be it structure, be it, of course, the budget, and be the different aspects of security when it comes to, of course, the anti-COVID measures and so on. So we went through each and every part of the pavilion, and we decided that everything that might be touched by our guests should be covered with a nano layer, a nano coating that would just kill every single germ at the very instant. Of course, we've introduced a number of sanitization platforms that are created by one of the Polish companies that will be brought here, especially for the Polish pavilion. That will be very, very not only useful and not only safe, but also very nice and fitting into the whole idea of the pavilion. Apart from that, we've introduced a number of different anti-COVID measures that would mainly focus on providing the fresh air and the clean air. So UVC lamps, namely, that will be working on a constant basis, that just suck the air in and just throw it out, being completely
anti-COVID air.
Yeah, so you can feel completely safe once you enter the Polish pavilion. Everybody is vaccinated or tested on a constant basis, so we are more than sure that we'll welcome our guests on a very safe and secure basis.
Right. Now, moving on, I would like to open up a window into the future a little bit and ask you guys, what would be the next, let's say, set of activities planned now with a couple of days until the opening, or maybe even going into the opening? What are your main activities planned the first week? We could look at it through a technological perspective and then through also business perspectives.
For us, it's just to open the pavilion, have the opening ceremony, and just to provide the best experience we can, of course, for our guests, for our prepare our hosts to be welcoming and feel the need to pamper our guests, to cater for them. We will also like to involve our business people as well, because of course it's showcasing of the country, it's showcasing the story, it's showcasing the experience. But apart of that, we're also very keen on getting to know other people from all around the place, not only from the Arabian Peninsula, not only from the GCC, but also from all around the world, because this is what the Expo is all about. We have 192 different countries being here for 6 months. And the Expo organizers just went ahead and created the huge programming and dividing those 6 months into different periods, thematic weeks, or whatever you want to call them. So let's start off with the first week. We're going to have a number of different companies coming over to take part of in the exhibition, as well as going through the trade fair. We're going to have different seminars when it comes to green technology, sustainability. We're going to have some high-level officials. But apart from that, the whole upper floor of our pavilion is a business center. So we would like them to mingle, to network, and find new business connections. And on top of that, we will just put another layer on this cake, and the icing would be the whole cultural program. So on a daily basis, there are gonna be different concerts. There are gonna be different shows.
Wow.
We're gonna show you, and there's gonna be a world premiere. Just spilling the beans now for you, of an art piece of one of the world famous Polish creators. Is gonna be over there in the temporary exhibition zone.
Exclusive for Construction Week, right over here.
Yes, this is an exclusive for you. So this is the first time I'm spilling the beans when it comes to this.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So it's gonna be we're gonna be busy bees. And it's going to be like a beehive throughout the first weeks. And we're coming into collaboration with different countries, because we believe that bringing people together is what Expo is all about.
Exactly. You're connecting minds at the end of the day, creating the future and letting everybody enjoy the show.
Exactly.
Would you like to add anything about the set of activities?
Obviously, in the next days, we will have over 150 volunteers, who will be the hosts of the pavilion. So the tasks in front of us will be how to make them feel comfortable with the space that is here, how to speak about the stories that are in all of those different chapters that we have here. And, it's a treasure test in terms of, being at a quite general level, but then going into the nuances. And then we will see for the first time how all these experiences and interactions work with people who see it for the first time. So in itself, you could have almost a psychological study of people behavior in a space. And then we will be thinking how to adapt in terms of what we can do on the technological side to that.
I would like to ask, about later on, obviously, Expo Legacy. Will the Polish Pavilion play part of that? Do you have something in plan, or is it still all in the unknown?
Of course, there is a number of options. Whatever the decision is going to be made by the Polish government, it's still an ongoing process. The pavilion should at least stay in its form. Whether it's going to be repurposed, reused by one of the Polish entities on its own terms, or whether it's going to be passed onto the organizers as a part of the legacy for the Expo 2020 and being a part of District 2020.
Let's hope for the best.
Of course.
Definitely keep me updated. Now, although I can talk to you guys the whole day, I think we're running out of time. So let's just place in the final messages for our Construction Week audience from a business perspective and from a technological perspective. What will be your final messages for all the visitors that are coming here in just under a couple of days?
If you just come here, you'll just find a pavilion that's really standing out, and it's something different, something that you haven't seen so far, and that will make you feel welcome, make you feel intimate, make you feel cozy. No matter if you're a child, if you're an adult, if you're a businessman, if you're a scholar, there's always something for you. You're going to find business partners, you're going to find some entrepreneurs, you're going to find some culture indulgence. You're going to find everything you need to find at the Expo site.
Would you like to add something about your final message?
Of course, we wanted people to smile once they approach the pavilion, and we want them to leave with even better smile wider smile, and an association that Poles are awesome. And we think that this pavilion and this exhibition delivers to that. So that was our goal.
Thank you very much for your time today, and thank you for welcoming me to this wonderful pavilion. And I'm looking forward for the opening and being here again, trying out all your immersive experiences, the food. I'm definitely very excited for it. Thank you once again, and best of luck to you at the opening.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Some wonderful insights and beautiful views here today at the Polish Pavilion, and I can only express my gratitude and honor to be filming here today and giving you all the latest exclusives live from Expo, the world's largest cultural event. My name is Mina, and thank you for tuning in for yet another episode of Expo Talks. Make sure to like and comment your thoughts on today's episode, subscribe to our channels and website to receive the newsletter, but most importantly, come visit the Polish Pavilion as soon as possible. Remember, we're connecting minds and creating the future. Stay tuned for the next episode.